So Stormzy's released some reflections for the year, and one of the things he seems to suggest that he got wrong about last year was his collaboration with McDonald's. If you remember, Stormzy had a collaboration with McDonald's where the Stormzy meal came out and he featured a bunch of stuff that I can't remember because I don't really eat McDonald's that much. And that was around January, February time, 2025. And a lot of people came out and said, at the height of what Israel's doing in Gaza, how could you collaborate with McDonald's? Now, the real reason why people were mad at that is because at the start of Israel's campaign in Gaza, some McDonald's franchises in Israel were advertising providing free meals to IDF soldiers. And so they were kind of saw McDonald's as a global corporation as complicit in what Israel was doing to the Palestinians. Now, because of that, a lot of people got mad at Stormzy and say, how can you work with these people? At the time, I made videos saying a lot of this anger is misplaced, and I still feel the same way now. Obviously, in the commentary Stormzy made himself, he doesn't seem to say he regrets it. He kind of says something about it, but then kind of leaves it blank and says, oh, I should have said everyone go away, then I didn't, and blah, blah, blah. The thing to understand about this, and I want to make 2 points about this. First, about the specific issue with Stormzy, and about trying to enact a kind of global BDS more specifically. First thing about Stormzy to understand about McDonald's specifically is that McDonald's operates a franchise model, which means that they sell the name and the likeness and the brand to basically anyone that wants to buy it and start their own McDonald's. So the people that own the franchises in Israel and were selling, giving the IDF soldiers free meals are not the same, clearly, as the people that own the franchises in the UK that Stormzy was collaborating with. Now, they do have to get permission and stuff to use the name to do specific things. And in fact, the McDonald's franchises in question, all of them in Israel, were bought back by the company. So I guess they clearly disagree with this decision or whatever. But Stormzy and the McDonald's in the UK and the McDonald's in Israel have no relation. Even McDonald's on the same street might be owned by two different people. So we don't want to be seen to be persecuting people for making, personal business decisions because of opaque business structures, because the McDonald's in Israel and the one in the UK are totally different. Secondly, in terms of trying to, the intention behind calling on Stormzy to cancel his partnership was good because it was seen that McDonald's was supporting, what the Israeli government is doing. But when we think about trying to boycott, companies that are involved in bad practices, we want to be careful to not make it so general as to make the movement itself meaningless. Practically speaking, McDonald's is kind of too big to boycott for most people. So in as much as you can criticize the decision, trying to boycott it and say, oh, we're going to boycott McDonald's or we're going to call for a boycott of McDonald's is not practical. And when your boycott is not practical, it starts to become meaningless. That's why the official BDS